Are you thinking about moving to Des Moines, Iowa, but you just have no clue which suburb actually fits the lifestyle for you? Because Des Moines isn't just about Des Moines. There's many pockets and suburbs in our metro that feel totally different depending on what you value when looking for your next home. That could be from schools to nightlife, maybe it's new construction, commute time to your job, or in all actuality, how quiet of a neighborhood you're going to live in. Today, I'm going to break down the 5 top neighborhoods. That's a public list from ChatGPT to dive into where might fit you best when looking to move to the Des Moines, Iowa metro. So whether you're moving to central Iowa, more in particular to the Des Moines metro, or maybe you're just looking to upgrade your current living situation and you're already from the area, the goal of this video is to save you tons of time, potentially months, of doom scrolling on Zillow. And if you want a custom list of neighborhoods that might fit your needs, budget, lifestyle, then contact me. Information's down below. And as always, please like and subscribe to get updates weekly. So number 1 on our list that I want to touch base on is going to be West Des Moines. West Des Moines usually, it's at the top of everybody's list. Why? Well, for a lot of great reasons. But one of the main reasons is going to be the shopping. And shopping's huge in West Des Moines. They have the Jordan Creek Mall and the entire Jordan Creek Town Center in the area, which allows for a lot of boutique shopping, as well as the mall and other venues. Now, what else is offered in the Jordan Creek area or West Des Moines as a whole? Well, it offers a ton of eateries, from local staples to national chains that you just don't find anywhere else across the metro. Another key factor that drives West Des Moines and its growth is its very highly rated schools. Now, I know what you're thinking. As a realtor, you can't talk about schools, so on and so forth. Well, you know what? I didn't make the list. I'm just giving you the information. Another great aspect of West Des Moines is going to be the amazing parks, as well as the trails that are offered through all the subdivisions that extend for, you got that, 70 miles out of town. That's how far the trail system is in the Des Moines metro, but we're focusing West Des Moines right now. The other great thing about West Des Moines that a lot of people miss is the easy commute and or traffic to get downtown. See, West Des Moines is right there on the corner of 80 and 35, and 235 runs right through the middle of it. So your commute really anywhere in the metro is simplistic, easy, and quick. Now, why do families flock to West Des Moines? Well, for professionals, it's a lot about convenience. A lot of major corporations are based or hubbed out of West Des Moines. Some of the biggest ones, Wells Fargo. We've all heard of them. They're right there in the West Des Moines corridor. The next one, people, like I said, looking for schools. Every school district in West Des Moines has got pretty solid ratings. Pretty high, actually. Most of them are very highly sought after. The other thing is West Des Moines right now, along with Waukee and Ankeny, are going to be your fastest growing areas in the entire metro. So for a lot of people, they don't have to look at the resale aspect. You're going to get the opportunity to buy new construction if that is something that you are looking for. Now, you might be saying, hey, that's all great, but what's the trade-off to being in West Des Moines? Well, there is some cons, and that's going to be the home prices. And out of all the suburbs in the entire Des Moines metro, West Des Moines, it is the most expensive. And it is the most expensive for a reason. Remember all those pros? The biggest one being the shopping and eateries. Yeah, everybody else, myself included, we travel to have those amenities. So the biggest trade-off is probably the price of the real estate. Secondly, traffic. Traffic around rush hour, which we don't talk a lot about rush hour in the Des Moines metro, but there is some improvements going on right now to the 80-35 corridor that wraps through Des Moines. But traffic can be a bear at certain times of day, usually 4:30 to 6 in the evening and 7 to 8:30 in the mornings. And I'm talking coming to a standstill. but again, you got the eateries, you got the shopping, everything we all want. Secondly, thirdly, I guess I should say, as the trade off is you are truly paying for location and the amenities. There's no bargain basement deals that typically happen in West Des Moines. It's a newer community. By newer, I'm going to say the bulk of it was built in the 60s or newer, but most of it is probably going to be expanding from about the 90s or newer. So, much newer construction, much newer amenities, definitely where all the commercial growth is going. And I didn't even mention the water park that's going in. So, the bottom line about West Des Moines is it's probably the most well rounded suburb in the Des Moines metro, and everything's currently at your fingertips. It's seriously a heartbeat away to get to the bulk of everything in West Des Moines if you live there. So, if you're betting on real estate and you're betting on the price of appreciation in your real estate, West Des Moines is definitely a place you want to go. So, number 2 on our list, we're going to jump to Ankeny. Ankeny's 25-ish minutes to get to West Des Moines. So, in comparison of where we're at in the metro, north-hand side, West Des Moines was on the west side, obviously. What is it about Ankeny? What makes Ankeny so amazing? I do live here, so I will speak upon it. Ankeny's doubled in size in the last 10 years as far as population growth. Well, what does that mean? Well, Ankeny has incorporated or had to build all new schools. And by new schools, there's new high schools. There's talk of a third new high school. There's currently expansions going on in our middle schools to accommodate the tremendous growth of the area. Now, with that being said, Ankeny, I'm going to tell you, has doubled in size in the last 10 years, but that also means that 50% of your housing, give or take, is all 10 years or newer. Meaning the resale aspect, it is there, but the bulk of Ankeny is going to be new construction. So as far as maintenance is concerned, price properties, this, that, and the other, it's all there. Maintenance is going to be minimal unless you buy in really the old part of what Ankeny is classified as, which is the old uptown area. Secondly, tons of restaurants come in and out of Ankeny. I hate to see the outward, but it is very common to see a restaurant come in and within 2 years it's gone. I don't know if it's just something about we have 15 Mexican restaurants here in town and we keep adding them and they never seem to go anywhere, but every other type of restaurant does. The city is growing fast. I mean, it's seriously something that has exploded forever. And why do people choose Ankeny? Well, I want to get into that. And we kind of already touched base on the new construction side. The other main thing, you're going to have family-friendly neighborhoods, and that seems to be quite the appeal for a lot of places. Secondly, school system. The school system is extremely highly sought after in the Des Moines metro area. And also within the different neighborhoods, I guess, and this is kind of something that I can talk on, is you have a lot of strong sense of community depending on where you live and what you're looking for. Now, who is Ankeny for? Well, Ankeny, it's a younger community, believe it or not. So it's thriving with young families. And these young families, they need all the new schools. And secondly, Ankeny also, we're newer. So with that being said, we have a lot of new construction and a lot of buyers who want new homes, but just don't want to pay for the new homes that are going in West Des Moines because there's such a price tag difference. Within a 20 to 30 minute drive, you're getting the exact same property for probably about 10% less. Another group of people that would highly look into Ankeny are going to be people that don't mind a short commute to work. So Iowa State University, or Ames, is only about 20 minutes north of Ankeny, sorry. And then you've got about a 20-minute drive anywhere in the Des Moines metro from Ankeny to get from one side to the other, because we are literally right in the middle, just on the north side of it. So decent short commute times, regardless of where you're wanting to be at in Ankeny. What are the downfalls of Ankeny? Well, the biggest downfall is there's no direct route anywhere in the metro. So we did talk about short commute times, but there's no direct commute. You've either been on the back roads or you're taking the interstate and it wraps around. Secondly, we are such a fast growing community. You are constantly dealing with construction. And I don't just mean on the residential house building side. I mean, road construction. It is constant in our communities because of the growth. Always adding, expanding lanes, doing whatever. It is a constant. Now, I would say this third reason is the biggest drawback on what Ankeny does not have going for it. We are so new with growth. There is not a lot of established neighborhoods. So the idea of charm in the housing, it's just not there. We don't have the mature trees. We don't have the houses with unique woodwork or beautiful curb appeal, you will say, because we just don't have that architecture or the age to have those amenities. However, the bottom line with Ankeny, if you're looking for modern neighborhoods, family filled energy, and tons of room for growth, then Ankeny is definitely one of the hotspots you should be checking out. If you haven't already done so, I greatly appreciate it, and it only helped me grow to better serve the community as well as other people that might be looking for real estate, such as yourself. So if you would, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you and love to see you every week for new content. Well, let's not slow down. We've already got two really hot topics, but let's jump into number three. Number three is going to be Waukee. Now, what is so great about Waukee? Well, let's talk about it. The suburb went from what was classified as like a quiet town to everybody suddenly wants it. And why? Well, the key reasons on why Waukee's so hot right now is the schools have tremendously jumped. And by jump, I mean, A, they got a brand new high school. It's beautiful. It's huge. It's even got ball diamonds. Very excited. But the school's very highly rated for Iowa as a whole. Secondly, massive growth. And I mean massive growth, not only in residential, but in their commercial development. They even have a state-of-the-art basketball facility that is supposed to be a regional design to get all kinds of tournaments into the location. So they've really focused on not only driving the residents, but also bringing people to the town for events, money, everything. So it's definitely exploding. Thirdly, future focus plans. Now, what does this mean? Well, the future focus plan is going to have a lot of area where it's walkable zones. What is a walkable zone? Well, it's kind of like, I'd say, outdoor shopping. So you can walk from strip mall to strip mall. It's kind of how they're designing it. It gives you the ability to get out and about instead of just jumping from parking lot to parking lot. Also, they're doing a lot of mixed use. Now, what is that? Well, typically the main floor. It's going to be some type of commercial, whether it's small mom and pop shop, or it could be, I don't know, just small commercial, retail, something like that. Maybe some eateries, Subway, something like that goes in small. Jersey Mike's sounds better than Subway anyway. But above it, apartment living, townhome, condo, whatever you want to verbiage it as. Most of them are going to be rentals, but it's going to be supposedly on the affordable side. Next, it's the easy access to West Des Moines. If you remember, we talked about West Des Moines up there. All your shopping, your eateries, a lot of your major corporations for business as well. Now, who is perfect for Waukee? Well, it's families that prioritize school. You'll notice a trend here within these top 5 places. A lot of them have school very highly rated. Now, similar to Ankeny, Waukee, it's exploding residentially. So a lot of Waukee, the size has increased due to all the new construction. So people that are wanting new homes, not the resale. Now, you're primarily going to get a cookie cutter because we have about 5 builders across the metro that build in quantity. You can get the custom builds. You're going to pay for it, but you can get a custom build. But primarily, you're going to get about 5 builders for the quantity builds, but still new construction. Definitely have videos on that. We'll link them down below. And then lastly, it's people who want to buy into an area of growth. So it's the people that don't mind the continual growth and expansion with the goal in mind way out, whether that is the shopping, the eateries, whatever business or activities it's going to drive to the area. So those are people that get excited about something like that. What are the three main trade-offs? Well, the prices are definitely climbing from what they were even say 5 years ago in Waukee. And that's because the demand to be in the city has grown so substantially. There's still a lot of places in Waukee that was set aside for development and growth that they haven't even broke ground on. And so that's one of the bad trade-offs is there's still areas that haven't been developed that were already planned to be developed. But it's because it's growing so fast that they just jump around to wherever it's needed. And last but not least, it is the less established shopping and dining comparatively to West Des Moines. But remember, I said all of this massive expansion also comes with commercial. So it is on the horizon. It is planned for. It's just not there yet. The bottom line is Waukee is a very strong long-term play. You're buying with momentum, knowing with all the future growth that will be coming its way. Well, like they say, when the iron's hot, you've got to strike. So let's not slow down now, but let's jump into number 4. Number 4 is going to be Urbandale. Now, switching gears into Urbandale, it is a little bit different because it's definitely one of the more balanced cities, and it is flying kind of under a lot of people's radar because it is growing, but it's not exploding like the other ones that we've talked about. Now, why Urbandale? What do people like about Urbandale? Well, believe it or not, but at one point in time, Urbandale was kind of the central location for the entire Des Moines metro. Now, where Urbandale is growing now, it is more so out towards the Waukee area. So you're no longer centrally localized, but you still have the opportunity for growth. But the cool thing about Urbandale is you have a lot of established neighborhoods, and those neighborhoods could range probably, I'm going to say, from the 30s to about the 90s would be the newest, and then Urbandale was landlocked for a long time, and then they kind of just started growing, and I would say about the last 4 years, and that's where they have moved to the northwest of their current landlock, and they've been more repositioned out towards the Waukee area. So a lot of established neighborhoods that might fit you if you're looking for some charm, some character, a little bit of the resale factor versus always having brand new. Again, Urbandale, really good school. Sports teams are known for going a long ways in the competition world. Urbandale also has a little bit more of what you'd call a quieter vibe because it is primarily one of the older towns around. It's not old like Des Moines, but it's one of the older towns and or neighborhoods if you're in the older part of Urbandale. So you get a much more quieter vibe than you're going to get in any of the cities mentioned before. And you're also going to get what I would classify as a more affordable pocket. Now, what does that mean? Well, city of Urbandale, the average home price is probably, I would say 15-20% less than what's in West Des Moines. Now, are you getting the new, the updated, you getting the 1,500 to 1,800 square foot single floor homes? No. No, you are not getting that unless you're buying in the new construction area. But what you are getting, again, like I said, those charms. You get the small mom and pops areas of the small, really small business owners in the strips and so on and so forth. So you might be asking, who is for Urbandale? Like, what is the primary reason to move to Urbandale? Well, it's buyers who want location without top tier pricing. That's probably the biggest thing. They're settling for a little bit older of a property, but they're still getting excellent location out of it. And it's also for people that enjoy or prefer a mature neighborhoods, established communities, trees. Trees is a big one. I don't know if you've driven through a new construction development lately. Your trees, yeah, they're really small. Couple fingers at best, maybe your wrist. That's it. Not the tree that you're going to be able to put a kid swing in and watch your child grow up and swing in that tree. Urbandale has that for you. The other thing is probably the biggest one. It's commute. And being that it's already centrally localized within the entire Des Moines metro, your commute times are really cut down. Really cut down. Probably the worst trade-off is it's not really flashy. There's not a ton of development going on in Urbandale. Remember, I did tell you it was landlocked for a long time. Secondly, the older house stock. There's a lot of it. And there's a lot of updating that needs done to a lot of these resale properties in the area. But that also gives room for either a little bit cheaper of a purchase or investment opportunity. So if you're listening to this and you're looking for places to invest, Urbandale is definitely one of those towns. We'll have a video on that later. Lastly, it's just not as trending. Remember I said it was kind of flying under the radar? Yeah, it doesn't trend like the other cities in this video because it's older and a lot of growth happens in new. So the bottom line, Urbandale is for people who value location and they still value the livability over the new side of everything. So definitely last but not least, number 5, Johnston. Johnston comes in, but it doesn't quite get the hype of some of the others, or maybe you should just say the hype that it should be getting. So what really stands out about Johnston? Well, Johnston, again, very, very strong school system. Definitely one of the more sought after schools in the entire metro. It's also classified as one of the safest, as well as most quiet cities in the entire Des Moines metro. What does that mean? Well, it means that you're probably sacrificing on the commercial side of things. Johnston kind of has one corridor that has all of its business development in one area. One of the other big pros to being in Johnston is its close proximity to everything. So remember how I said that Urbandale was kind of the centerpiece? Well, Johnston just sits on the north side of the interstate from Urbandale. So its proximity to the centralized Des Moines metro area is definitely just that. It is centralized, and the interstate runs right through Urbandale and Johnston. It splits the two towns. Last but not least, it's a good mix of newer and established homes. So not quite as old as what Urbandale was, but not as new as what Ankeny, Waukee, West Des Moines is. So you kind of get that perfect blend where you still have a fair amount of old charm and you get just enough new construction that it gives people opportunity to lean that way. Now, who's Johnston really for? Well, it's for families who want that quiet side of things, but still want to be in close proximity to everything. It's also for the buyer, because that's really what this video is about. It's the buyer who wants stability over hype. So Johnston is a very solid town. There's not a lot of turnover in Johnston when it comes to businesses. They're more so staples in the community. And then it's also going to be primarily for people who value the schools and the safety of the area. That is huge in a lot of people's lists. Now, trade-offs. What are the trade-offs? Well, I'm not even sure there's a nightlife in Johnston at all. Yes, there are bars, but not what I would say is a nightlife. There's not really entertainment options in Johnston that I'm aware of, or ChatGPT. Didn't pull anything. It has a very small commercial footprint, so it would kind of be classified as a sleeper community. If you live in Johnston, you're probably commuting somewhere else in the metro for work. And last but not least, it's not really got a buzz to it. It doesn't have that vibe that we're growing. We want people, the momentum, the shift, any of those things that really our top 3 had, which West Des Moines, Waukee, and Ankeny. Those are the 3 fastest growing areas in the metro, but it's also the ones that have all the hype, all the buzz. We're growing. So, bottom line, Johnston. It's very low drama living, and it's definitely a good way to live life. So I know we said there's only 5 options out there. Yeah, if you stayed this late, I got some honorable mentions for you. A couple of them. I'm going to give you 4 more. We're going to look at Clive. What's Clive? Clive is a very closed-in suburb that sits over between Waukee, West Des Moines, Urbandale area. I'd like to refer to it as like a golf fairway. I want to say it's like 8 blocks wide, like a mile long. Might be a little bigger than that, but it's got really great location, and it's got a mix of affordability with convenience. Primarily, it's going to be residential. It does have what we call the auto mile running down the middle of it, though. So that is there. Grimes. Grimes is also one of the faster growing areas. It's got more space with newer developments than a lot of places around, and it's great for buyers who are wanting a little bit of breathing room as the town is still small. So it is, it gives you a lot of opportunity at a little bit cheaper of a price tag most of the time. Altoona. What's great about Altoona? Well, it's really got a good mixture of entertainment from an outlet mall. It's got the only amusement park here in the metro. Realistically, the only amusement park probably in the state. There's a couple small ones, but this is the biggest one. And then it's got a casino. So the entertainment side is definitely there in Altoona, and it's strong for buyers that don't mind being on the east side. But you are going to sacrifice a lot of shops and eateries to be in Altoona because you do have the outlets, but it is a discount mall, I guess is the best way. It's more like, I don't know how to verbiage it, but it's more like corporate owned locations that just do like discount shopping and pricing. But last but not least, Windsor Heights. And Windsor Heights is small, very small. Not quite as small as Clive, but it's small. It's very charming and it's very close to downtown. Windsor Heights does not have new construction. You're probably going to be hard pressed to find anything newer than the 60s there. But it's got great character. The houses overall have great square footage of them, and it's really just a great place to buy if you're looking for affordability and charm. So when my clients ask me, what's the best place to live around Des Moines? I've got a pretty simple answer. The best place to live is what fits your lifestyle, as every suburb has something different to give you, but you're all within 25 to 30 minute drive from suburb to suburb. So I need you to ask yourself when looking across our metro and not wanting to doom scroll through Zillow, how important are the schools versus the price? Do you want new construction or do you want charm? How far are you willing to commute? And do you want growth or stability? Now remember, almost all of these offered growth, stability, schools, new construction, and shorter commutes, but only a couple of them offered you charm. And this decision is the one decision that you have to make for yourself, and it does impact your lifestyle every single day. So if you're thinking about moving to the Des Moines Metro and you want a custom breakdown based upon your budget, a commute, or a lifestyle, I want you to reach out. I'm happy to help you, and I want you to avoid finding yourself in the wrong neighborhood for whatever stage of life you're currently in. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this. That way you have this information and more information like it coming your way every week, as that is my goal, is to educate you, the buyer, into what would best fit you and tailor your needs around the Des Moines, Iowa metro.